What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? You are on the sidelines with the sideline guys. And today, people, today, of course, we are joined once again by my co host, my brother in arms, the podfather himself, my guy, Derrick Myers. How's it going, brother?
All is well, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well on this chaotic election day. I figured I'd go
Yeah.
live on this story for you, right? I held it
Yes.
back until we got on the show because this is
Awesome.
wild.
Awesome.
But while I was there, I apparently learned that many people had to do affidavit ballots this year because, for whatever reason, a lot of people that have been returning to this polling site for over 12 years have either been assigned to different areas where I
Mm,
saw people live getting sent to other schools, or entirely were listed as not voting there at all in the system, like myself,
wow.
right?
Wow.
Now, this is where things get even better, though. A woman that was at the front desk, you know me, right? I'm a polite guy.
Yes, sir.
First thing, "Well, how are you doing today?" Because I already see she's stressed.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not doing all right. Today has been crazy. I'm like, well, I hope, your day continues to get better. She goes, the craziest shit about today. Some lady came over here asking me where her $100 was. I'm like, okay, now this lady might be a little tweaked out, right? No, let me listen. She goes, asking where the $100 was if she voted for Trump. I said, what? It was like, yeah, apparently somebody told this woman that if she voted for Trump, that they was gonna give her $100. Um, so that's how I'm feeling on this election day. All right, that's how the fuck I'm feeling. All right.
Hey, man. That's hilarious. That's I look. I'm looking forward to hearing the crazy stories that pop out of this election. So I'm outside of prayerfully nothing goes crazy. I know we've had a couple of down here. We've had a couple of threats that apparently emanated from Russia. So it's going to be a very interesting time. But thank God we're all safe here. Hopefully the Bosas get a little pissed off tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, it's a strange world we live in. I think I was hit by that as I was in the room, right? With
Yeah,
all this chaos going around, cop had to stop this one guy that was cursing somebody out. There was all kinds of shit going on in
man.
that room. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We got even more going on in this podcast room today. And it's only right that we start on the NBA side of things. This is going to be a NBA NFL doubleheader. And on that side of the coin, we've got Joel Embiid getting suspended for 3 games. Sorry, I'm saying this very joyfully, but this is a very serious matter. I think it's important that we discuss this. He ended up getting in an altercation with the 76ers beat reporter. um, I'm gonna let that man stay nameless, but do your due diligence and find out why Embiid was so upset. But to give a brief summary, there was an altercation because of some words that this man said, and to quote it directly, while criticizing Joel Embiid, talking about his time, well, absentee right? Since the season started, he says Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as the major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Nothing wrong with this yet, right? Um, well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up for your work. Embiid has been great at just the opposite, and goes on to say that basically the reason why he hasn't been playing on the court is because he is out of shape. Now, um, the altercation ended with Embiid ultimately shoving him as they got separated, and has led to this 3 game suspension. Kind of wild. You got kind of like that you got fired on your day off moment, right? Where you get this
Hmm.
suspension. But how do
Yeah.
you feel about this whole situation, the reporter, his role in all of this, and the suspension that's coming because of it?
So if you're a fan of any Philadelphia sports team, you know that nobody hates Philadelphia teams as much as media in Philadelphia does. It honestly is astonishing that these reporters have so much access to the players that you're not like the front office itself should really do a better job in all four sports, do a better job of paying attention to who the reporters are that are in these locker rooms, because I mean I'm not saying that there should be like I'm not saying it should be like like them coming down on these reporters like that, but I think they really need to do a better job of protecting the players. In my opinion, this is a reporter that is absolutely trash at his job, and as part of the front office, not really understanding who's there. Why would you put this man in the same room with this man? Like, why would that happen? Why would that happen? And honestly, what was the purpose of talking about his son or his brother? What is the purpose? If you want to critique Embiid's play, or you want to critique his availability or whatever, I think that's fair game.
Yeah.
Um, but this bringing the son and the brother into this that had nothing to do with basketball. If it's not something that's taking place on that court, unless it's something that happened outside of the game where they did something that was horrible or whatever, like I personally don't believe there's any reason to discuss anybody like that. Just discuss what they're doing, and leave it at that. Now, if the story does bring you to the outside of the court, then that's what it is. But this isn't something that took place. Like, for example, like Miles Bridges, we know what kind of piece of trash he is. The stuff that he's done off court, that makes sense as to why you would discuss any of his off court issues, right? That makes complete sense. This Embiid is not that type of player. He's not that type of person, from what we can tell. We don't know anybody behind closed doors, but we don't like this is not someone that you need to antagonize like that. I really do believe that all sports need that, like they really need to do a better job of understanding who is actually in the locker room, because you cannot sit here and say that you want to contend, you want to do all this other stuff, if you're allowing players to be chastised, or not chastised, but allow them to be distracted because a person that wrote some article is right there in the room with them, that wrote an article that's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's my whole thing. I'm not a big fan of the way that Philly media covers the teams, because it's not like they're doing a great job of covering them. They will find any reason to slam these players, any
Yeah.
reason. Like AJ Brown last year got it big time, and I believe they did this with Devontae Smith. They always do it with Jalen Hurts. It makes no sense, but it's just something for clickbait. And I feel like we're at the point now where social media has driven um, a lot of media into a space where there's no longer this journalistic integrity that's a part of their job. It's literally clickbait. Like, what can you say or do to get the most views? And it's the most disgusting part about it.
Mhm.
That's the part thing. I just that's media in general, and to me, to be honest with you, anybody that's covering certain things. I think there's a lot of times where a lot of these people they see how many eyes get onto the platform, and then all of a sudden let's do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again. Shannon Sharp is a big example of that. So yeah, my bad for the rant, but
No, I love it.
it's so infuriating to see how these players are not protected. And then what is the punishment for Hayes? I'm sorry, I know we weren't saying his name, but what's his punishment? He's the one that said what he said. Like, okay, Embiid got 3 games suspension. What is his?
Yeah, there's a couple people that need to get shot down here. Obviously, you got the
Yeah,
editor. I
yeah,
think the main issue here is you could have ran that part, right? The part that we shared. You could have ran that part through a fucking chat GPT
yeah,
editor, and they'll be like,
yeah,
"But what is the relevance here?" Like that
yeah,
that's my issue with it,
yeah.
because I don't care if you're gonna bash somebody for the sake of bashing somebody, like you said, like in some ways these columnists, because that's he doesn't call himself a journalist, right? He's a
Right. Yeah.
columnist.
Yeah.
So
Columnist. Yep.
he's
Yep.
entirely like you said, his goal is to incite, to speak for the fans in that way, right?
Mhm.
So I get it. I'm not really mad at that. Like, I feel like most of the times I try to look at this objectively, right? We're in this
Mhm.
media space. We understand how these
Yeah.
things can ripple out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no context or reason why that would have been necessary to add. But it'll be the same person that'll say stuff like this in an article like this,
Mhm.
and then show up after they have some triumphant moment and be like, what does this mean to you considering all the
Right.
things you've been through? And it's
Right.
like, yeah, you just are a fucking leech.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I am not mad at Embiid for being upset in this scenario. Obviously, I didn't see the push, so I don't know how severe or how much he was getting in his face about this, but I agree, man. At the end of the day, I get it. There had to be some kind of suspension, right? You can't go around pushing people in life, period.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
get that, right? But at the same time, it's like this is a much bigger issue that needs to be addressed. But at this, I also am like, like, who failed who here, right? At what
Yeah.
point was it their fault for letting this media member be here, or what was this beef an ongoing thing, right? Most of the time these people are there, they're entrenched, right? They're there for many seasons, many years, being a part of the same beat, and maybe this is something that's developed over time, who knows. I just
Mhm.
think ultimately with things like this, it's fair to criticize players, period, no matter what's going on, no matter how you choose to do it. I think at the end of the day, if you're going to be doing these things, by all means, you got to be honest to your truth. But
Yeah.
there's just not a place for shit like this, in my opinion. There's no reason
Yeah.
to be, um, because it seems like a very personal dig. Like, it's like, you
Yeah.
said this is something about your character, so why don't
Yeah.
you live up to that by doing this? Like,
Yeah.
it's fine if someone's making a quote like that about how, I would never quit. But when it's something like this, it's like you're just such a real piece of shit. Like, literally, there's no other way to slice it. So
Yeah.
sorry, MB, that you're getting suspended before you even started playing. Really looking forward to seeing him come back and the Sixers reuniting, right? To see what that Avengers doll looks like at the end. But oh man, um, this is bad for Philly, right? In a
Yeah.
situation where things were already going bad.
Yeah. But look, I need Embiid for my fantasy team, bro. Like I'm
Bro, I'm so bad at fantasy basketball.
bro.
I might need some tips, brother. I might need some tips.
Yeah, I'll help you on that for sure because it's not as hard because I know it's one of those things where it can get a little difficult. Like in the beginning when the first time I played, I really didn't know how to actually
Strategize is my
yeah,
issue.
strategize
That's the
with it.
issue.
Yeah, but now I kind of got like what I want to do when I go for it. I think it's more so about how you want to set your team up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll get into that. That's gonna be
yeah.
another
We'll
one for
do
the
that.
books.
We'll do that.
We
Yeah,
got a lot going on here.
yeah,
But
yeah,
god damn it, I think it's only appropriate, right? We just go from talking to suspensions. to talking about the actual goings ons in the NBA. There's been so much that's happened the last couple of weeks. A lot of different angles I could go with this, right? I didn't prepare
Yes.
you for this,
Yeah.
Derek, but we're going to machine gun this. Why not, right? We got a
Awesome.
lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So, first of all, on the Eastern Conference side of things, obviously your Celtics in a great spot in second place overall in the East. I got to ask you right off the top, what the fuck is going on with Grant Williams and that altercation? And we friends, right? Like we friends, right? Question mark. What the fuck?
Bro.
Can you give me the inside scoop?
I put it to you like this. I think he's trying to do too much. But I think he also like we've seen it. We saw it when he was in Boston, he was trying to do too much. Like this is not that part of his game is not new. But I think that seeing Boston get the championship this last year, this is the first matchup since we won against him, and well, these last two games, that was the first time. And I'm sure he felt away. I'm sure he felt away, but like that ain't on the team. That ain't on Tatum. That's on you, bro. You didn't show up the way you should have shown up to stay on the team. Otherwise, they
Wasn't even in the
wouldn't have gotten
rotation,
rid
my
of you.
boy.
Like you'd still be on the team. They found no need for you. Like honestly. So, I think he knew who to do that to. Put it to you like that. He knew who to do that to because Tatum is at that point where he's not phased. And if you're gonna do something like that, all right, cool, whatever, shrug it off, type thing. You do that to Brown, oh man, that's totally different. I think he did it to the right person, and the next game you see that White got his lick back a little bit, which I appreciated. Um, Nah, we don't rock with Grant anymore, bro. Like I liked him, still from even the last he's been gone for like the last year or so.
Mhm.
Still liked him. I can't rock with him anymore, bro. That's like you're doing something so deliberate and acting as if it was a basketball play. Anyone that does a non-basketball play like that deliberately, I can't rock with you anymore.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
yeah. If you're clearly, I mean, there's an argument, right? He's going for the steal, but even then, it's so out of bounds.
Yeah,
And
if
it's
you
and the reward is so negligent for the outcome, right? What if fucking who knows, right? He could have went tooth first into his dome piece, right? He could have had an
yeah,
infection on his own head from Tatum's mouth. There could have been
yeah,
a lot of things that could have went wrong from that kind of collision. Thankfully, there wasn't that direct contact. But
yeah,
my question is, when there's someone like that with an axe to grind, and you could say that they clearly went after somebody.
mhm.
Um, Suspension, right? Needs to be involved, right? Did I miss something? Did that
Bro,
happen?
I'm gonna be honest, if something like that happened to, say, LeBron,
Oh, God forbid. Adam Silver wrapping this whole shit up.
so fast, bro, like, I don't even know if Grant got a fine. I know he got flagrant 2 and was kicked out the game, but it was garbage time. Like, the game was already decided. You weren't gonna do anything to change the outcome of that. I don't know. I told you before. I feel like there's a bias against Boston in general. I think there is against against the Celtics for sure. You could say some other teams, but I think the Celtics for sure. If this was anyone else, I think at least a fine would have happened, if not a suspension. Oh, if this happened to Luca, oh bro,
I don't understand it though. Like it's just so weird to me. And Tatum seems like such a nice guy, right? That's
yeah,
the shit that bothers me about this. What the fuck? But what can you do? Clown shit. Clowns are gonna do clown shit, right?
that's what
You
they
can't
do.
expect nothing else.
That's what they
Uh
do.
the next one. that I got a machine gun in here before we move on to our next segment. I gotta ask you about this. There's a certain team that you were very keen on their downfall, right? I wasn't really aware, right? I wasn't familiar with their game, but goddamn, the Bucks are in the mud in a way that I wasn't prepared for mentally, right? I
Yeah,
thought I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that the strength of what Giannis brings could overcome all these synergy issues, but damn, somebody call in the doc, right? Because something's going on over there in Milwaukee. He's gonna be fired, right? Like yesterday, right?
So yeah, he should be. Like the game against the Grizzlies, bro. That was probably the most disgusting plus minus I have ever seen from the entire team. Like Prince had a negative 22, Lopez had a negative 35, Trent had a negative 23, Dillard had a negative 29, Portis had a negative 17, Connaughton had a negative 2, and Giannis was at a 0. That's the ugliest plus minus I have ever seen, at least at least in recent memory. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Doc Rivers, I loved him from my '08 team, right? Of course, we got a championship. He's one of the most overrated coaches, bro. He is one of the most overrated coaches because there is no way you have the type of teams that he has had over the last what 10 some odd years, and you don't do anything, bro. You never do anything. Like I honestly, I for the life of me, I can't understand why Milwaukee fired Adrian Griffin. I for the life of me, I cannot understand it. And you fire him for Rivers, bro.
That was so weird. I still can't recall another scenario, and we talked about that on the show the week that it
Yeah,
happened.
I don't
This
get
is
it.
this is it continues to get weirder, right?
Yeah, and look, like I'll put it to you like this: Rivers is up there with Steve Kerr for me.
Wow,
He's
wow.
he's right up there with Steve Kerr. There is no way that you can do this poorly as a coach. Is I cannot. This does not make any sense to me, bro.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense. And it's like the older he gets, the worse he is.
and the actions just look bad, bro. It
It
looks
just,
real bad.
bro, like at least with the Clippers, at least the Clippers, there was something there. And I don't now I'm almost wondering, was this Ty Lue the whole time where he was actually where his teams were actually looking good? Doc Rivers' teams were looking good. I'm wondering if that was Ty Lue because
Hmm.
I,
What's missing? Yeah, literally, literally. It's fucking crazy, dude.
I don't get it. I don't understand it, and I want to see black people succeed, bro. But when you bad, bro. Like it's just it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I want to see. I want to see it. I would love for Doc Rivers to like. And the worst part about it, Rondo is on the coaching staff now.
Hmm. Elevate that man.
So then that now he, bro, I swear on everything, Rivers should be fired, and you elevate Rondo.
Wow.
You give JJ Redick a head coaching position with no prior experience.
He's doing a phenomenal job, I might
Who's
add.
doing a great job?
Doing
He's
a
doing. Yeah,
phenomenal job.
look, they're right now. They're good.
The stuff looks good though.
It
That's a
looks good.
difference
It
from
looks
all the
good.
Lakers, even the Hams years, even the
Yes,
fucking Ty Lue. Like
yes.
this, the stuff
It
looks
looks
good.
good.
So
It looks good,
can't be mad. Yeah,
bro. I can't see Rondo doing any worse.
I agree.
I
I agree.
honestly, I cannot see it. And now, as a Celtics fan, this is beautiful. I love it. But when you're talking about like as a purist, like as if you love basketball at its purest form, and you just look at it objectively, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to wonder, like all the stuff that came out with Giannis over the last what I think it was like last week or two, where he's talking about, like I could be traded, or like whatever. This has to be Doc. Like Doc has to be a part of that somehow, some way. Like,
So I got one question for you before we move on. As a Celtics fan,
mhm.
do you remember the first time that this came into your brain? Like where it became, I don't like this guy. Like
With
because
Doc,
I'm sure at some point, right, there was some love, some affinity there.
mhm.
Even in his time though as a Celtic, were you tired of him before they let him go? Was did he stay too
No,
long? Like, well,
we
when
didn't
did we
let him go.
sour?
We didn't let him go. We traded him
Yeah, thank you. Wait, wait. Where did he go? To the
to the
Nets?
Clippers.
Oh, to the Clippers.
Yeah.
And it was an actual like acquisition. Like, were there other pieces involved? That's
Hold
crazy.
on. I forgot what the actual pieces were, but
When you could get shit for a coach, that's actually baller. Shout out to the front
yeah,
office. That's a
yeah,
dope move right there.
yeah. I think okay, so yeah, after the 2012-13 season, the Celtics traded Rivers to the Clippers for a first round pick per Rivers' request. So he
Wow.
requested. Now, so I do remember that he did not want to be a part of a rebuild, and that's when I felt, I was like, wow, bro, like it's like that. Cool, cool. Guess who got to the finals first since that departure?
Definitely wasn't the Clippers.
It
And
wasn't the
they're far
Clippers,
from
bro.
it.
So yeah, like I love Rivers retroactively. Like when you're looking at that team, I love that Rivers. I don't know what happened, bro.
I just think it's a different world, bro. I
I
think,
like yeah, but it's also he did rub people the wrong way.
yeah, back then as
He
well.
like
That's a
even
big,
back then
big
he rubbed
time.
people the wrong way. So it's like I don't know. For the life of me, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I
The
don't get
records
it.
can't be great. So it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So if
But
I'm
he's
not
been
mistaken,
around. Shit. He gonna stay around, I think. I think he'll get another job,
that's
but
why I
we'll
think
see.
Giannis wants to trade it.
I think Giannis is a couple days from like full on posting Snapchats from like an ambulance, like
Yeah,
with the brace, like just attention seeking behavior right now.
yeah,
That's the timing that Giannis is on. I don't blame him.
yeah. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, but let's get on to more exciting conversations. I gotta ask you, how about them Cleveland Cavaliers? Right? I gotta ask you, in your experience, what's making the difference for him right now? Because to me, I can't really like pinpoint it. To me, I'm like, yeah, obviously the effort overall as a
Yeah,
whole is up, but what's
yeah.
the difference in your mind for this Cavaliers team?
I probably just more time together,
Mhm.
right? Like Donovan Mitchell got there, was it the year before last?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. So probably just more time. Like, so this is the thing though. I think a lot of people forget this because we see teams like the Celtics when they traded for KG and Allen, or um um the way that the Heat were put together, or even the Warriors, when KD came in. So I think people, because of those teams, and even the Celtics this past season, getting Drew and trade and stuff like that, and KP, I think people expect new acquisitions to just immediately take off, and this gelling to automatically happen within that first year. Typically it doesn't. Like, you're not going from 0 to 100
Yeah.
within a year. Like it takes time, especially if you have injuries that are included in the process of that year, right? And I truly believe that this is a combination of just them having more comfortability with each other and the system, and then also just being healthy. I can't see it being anything else outside of that. I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team, at least
That's
right
for sure.
now.
Shout out to the synergy, right? You gotta
Yeah,
figure some things out. I just
yeah,
found it so strange. I'm like, what's all this talk about moving all these people, and then it's all working out, right? So
yeah,
I gotta enjoy what's going on over there for Cleveland. Obviously,
yeah,
the lone thing they have to celebrate right now. So we're gonna hold
yes,
on to that as long
yeah,
as we need to. I respect it.
yeah.
But there's only one other unbeaten team in the NBA, and that's
That's
my
right.
Oklahoma City Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. The one thing I gotta talk about is the defense, man. The
Yeah, man.
defense is on
Yeah,
another level, and to see that obviously without our newest acquisition in Hartenstein is just such a huge positive. Chet is looking phenomenal in my opinion, but the real thing I'm just blown away by is it doesn't matter, right? Shea's gonna do his thing, Chet's gonna do his thing, but as a unit, like you're not facing anyone, even when all these all-stars are on the court, you're facing the Thunder, and that's what I
yeah,
love about watching this team play on defense and offense. It's just selfless, man, and these
yeah,
these guys are getting after it on every play, even in games where it's like I'm like, all right, like this is the fucking Blazers. Like why are
yeah,
we doing this right now to the Trailblazers? Like we got the starters in the fourth, up 10. Like
yeah,
relax.
yeah.
But I like it. I think we got a real chip on our shoulder, and we want to remind people that it wasn't a fluke that we got the first seed. We coming at y'all next, and
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
wait to see a lot of future matchups with actually really good contending teams, so that people can stop trying to say we're frauds. Because I'm liking our chance if we keep playing this way to potentially be under 15 losses this year. Like I think the defense is at that kind of level that we're talking championship status. Let's keep bringing these dubs home, baby.
yeah, yeah. Like I told you before, I could see it being the Celtics versus OKC in the finals this year. Like that's a team that like they look like they have it together, especially out west. Like I would love to see you guys in the finals. I think that would be a fun matchup for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is I don't believe it was a fluke. I really don't. I really don't. But like the Thunder are a great team. They're a great team, and I think you guys. The scary part about it is you're so young.
Yep.
Like,
Bro, fucking Aaron Wiggins, the dude is insane. Like
yeah,
every game he has a play where I'm like, this guy starts on 20 teams in the NBA right now. And
and
this
see,
guy's barely like, but every time he plays, he's
yeah,
fucking making plays. Case
yeah,
and Wallace off the bench. Like it's
yeah,
just so many people that we're looking to continue shining, and honestly we might end up having to trade some of these guys just
at
for
some
them
point,
to have that opportunity, which
yeah,
honestly I just love about my organization, right? We're planting all kinds of seeds,
yeah,
and they continue to grow
yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah, those are the type of teams you love to see too. Like when you have a team where you look at the bench and you're like all the way down to like the 10th, 11th man, they would easily be starting on other teams. Like those are the I like that. That's obviously your team and that's obviously my team. Like those are great problems to have, bro.
Yeah.
Those are great problems to have. I love it. So
Yeah, shout out to Peyton Pritchard, right along those
oh,
lines. One of my favorite guards to watch in the NBA,
he's
and
crazy.
yeah, he's
He's crazy.
he's a really really a bright skinned legend, if you ask
Hey
me. Right?
man,
If you ask
look,
me,
I love it. I love it. I love his attitude and his approach. I think I saw yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that he has, or maybe today, the best odds right now of winning six man of the year. So it'll be interesting to see if that takes place.
shout out.
I would love to see what how far he can go with that
One of my
for sure.
favorite YCs in the league, no
Yeah.
doubt. But it's only right, right? We got to move on. Unfortunately, the gears of justice continue to turn no matter what. We got some formalities to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and it just so happens on the day of our election here in the United States, it's the last day of trades, ladies and gentlemen, in the NFL. So
Yes.
it's only right that we machine gun through all the many deals that are going to change the fortunes of these NFL franchises for the rest of the season. Let's start with my Ravens, God damn it. I thought this was a sneaky good move, getting Tre'Davious White from the Rams. and also a seventh round draft pick in 2027 for a 2026 seventh round pick. In
Yeah.
my opinion, this is a steal. Do you agree with
Yes.
me?
Yes, most definitely. That was a great move. For a defense that's really good anyway. Like
A little
I love
banged
it.
up at that position though, so the timeliness of
Yeah.
it feels amazing.
Yeah.
I just hope Nate Wiggins is okay, right? That's the first thing I saw.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw this, I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
is Nate Wiggins really, really fucked up right now? Like because we're nervous,
Yeah.
but depth wise, yeah, I love this pickup, and for what we gave out, I didn't expect the Rams to be a seller, considering the way they looked against Seattle and the way they have looked since everyone started getting healthy, frankly.
Hmm.
But this is a fucking awesome move. Like I'm pumped.
Yeah. No, it's a great move. It's a great move.
All right. Well, next up, trying to keep it brief because this team's made a couple. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers making a move with the Jersey Jets. We've got the Steelers getting Mike Williams for a 2025 fifth round pick. Can I say that I like this deal for the Jersey Jets, ladies and gentlemen? I think getting a fifth rounder for Mike Williams is amazing. Shout out to that one guy that got Mike Williams a Taylor Ham when he first signed, because goddamn, that dream went out the window quick, right? Right. We ain't celebrating breakfast sandwiches in New York anymore when it comes to Mike Will, but hopefully he
Yeah.
ends up in a situation where he's playing more and the Steelers are happy for him. But I think they overpaid a little. Am I crazy?
What did they send out for him again?
Fifth rounder. Same thing. Listen to this one. Same thing the Cowboys got for Amari Cooper back in the day.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so that's based on evaluation though.
Yeah, definitely. And also based
Because
on stupidity, right? Because the Cowboys
yeah,
are
because
fucking
the Cowboys are just stupid. Like like a fifth round pick is what you got for Amari. Come on, bro. Come on. So yeah, I would probably say it's not too bad of a deal for that because I think Dallas didn't appreciate Cooper, so in their eyes their value for him was a lot lower than other teams.
mm,
So that's a steal for the Browns in that case, but yeah, for this in this situation I think that fifth is probably a good. That's not too bad.
right?
Yeah, not too bad. I think they
I
both
just
made
feel
out.
like, with all due respect, even when even though it is kind of one of the more crowded wide receiver rooms, even before Devontae Adams
Yeah,
got there for
yeah,
him specifically,
yeah.
um, I just don't think he's worth that much. Like with all
It
due respect,
probably
I don't know. It's like after all the ACLs, right? Shout out my guy Lewis. Shout out my god brothers,
yeah,
Glass Williams, right? That's been his name in all the group chats for the last 3 years.
yeah.
Um, I hate to talk shit, right? Because this is a very fantasy brain moment. But I got to say, shout out to Mike Will. Hopefully, with the leading man, right, Mister Unlimited himself, things could continue to work out well for the Steel Curtain. They made a couple different other sneaky moves too. Picked up Preston Smith from the Packers and a couple of other guys. So shout out to the Steelers. I hate you fucks. Next up, Washington Commanders and the New Orleans Saints. We got Marshawn Lattimore heading
Mhm.
over to the nation's capital, as well as a fifth round pick from 2025 for a haul of draft picks going back to the Saints. We got a 2025 third, fourth, and sixth. How do we like this move for the Commanders?
Jesus, man, they're obviously all in right now. So for them, like it's a great move. I think if you're at this space, like when's the last time we actually saw the Commanders? When's the last time we actually looked at Washington and we were like, they're nice,
Bro, Champ Bailey days, bro. We, we
bro. It's
go
been
we
a
going back.
while.
We going back.
It's been a while, so they don't know how to act right now. But I think if you know how to, if you know that you are like seriously like one of the contenders, you do all you can to make sure because look at what they have to contend with in the NFC. right? You got Philly, you got the Lions. Those are the type of teams you gotta that have two receive dynamic receivers that you have to cover. So it makes sense that you go and make this move. Now, if the story's not done, we don't know how Washington is going to look at the end of the year, but so far so good. It makes sense you do this move right now.
Yep. I like it. I agree. I think maybe I'm just that guy that's just like, hey, value is value. But I do think the Saints got a pretty good haul here back
Oh,
for a
they
star
do.
corner. Got to say that. Um,
Amazing haul.
yeah, I feel like corners are underrated, period, in the league,
Yeah.
considering how everyone only talks about the fantasy side of this sport most of the
Yeah.
time. So yeah, these people actually are really fucking good, and most
Yeah.
defenses need a guy like this. So I think this really addresses a big need for them too. So I just check all the boxes for both sides. I think both teams got what they wanted, and that's
Yeah.
why the Saints were able to leverage and get so much back. So you love to see it. I think both teams will benefit from it, but only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. We got a fucking joke on our hands. You ready for this one, right? We got to make a splash down here in Jerry World, right? The best thing going on in Jerry World this week is Mike Tyson getting knocked out by Jake Paul. That's what we got to look forward to in Jerry World, because after saying no, I promise, no trades over here for Dallas, they have acquired a star wide receiver, Carolina Panthers rookie Jonathan Mingo, for a fourth round pick. Dallas also is going to be receiving a seventh round pick and basically a couple quarters in a dime out the back pocket. Derrick, how the fuck did the Cowboys spend more to get Jonathan Mingo than they got back from sending away Amari Cooper 4+ years ago? This is a joke, right?
They sent a fourth round pick for Mingo, right?
Yep.
All they had to do was give up a fifth round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
No, no, no. It would have been a fourth. It would have been a fourth. They got the Mahomes tax. You forgot about that?
I'm the Mahomes
Yeah, the
tax.
government kicks back,
Yeah.
Goodell kicks back a little 25%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but they could it like I'm baffled at okay. There needs to be a study done on Jerry Jones and his front office in as a total as a whole. I don't get what the thought process is with them. I don't get it. Like this goes back to the Amari Cooper in terms of modern times. Why I'm so confused with this team. Like it's literally as if they're it's almost as if they're playing a Madden, but like they're just pushing buttons, bro. Like it's like what are you actually? You're not trying to do anything.
Yeah.
You're just taking the control. They're taking the control and they're just doing this.
You
They're
ever see
doing this
one of
right here.
those you ever see one of those streams where they have a goldfish and then they make like a sensor so that
Yeah,
it moves around the Mario character. So every time the goldfish is moving, that's
yeah,
Dallas.
bro. There's no rhyme or reason to what the moves are. Like you traded for Trey Lance and you pushed him to the third option, and
Cooper
and
Rush is too good.
and Cooper Rush is your backup. That he's your number two.
Hey,
You
that's the
traded when
modern
you
day Red
traded,
Rocket right there.
bro. Like
Don't forget, he was single-handedly the reason they stood afloat when Dak got injured last season. Don't forget.
I'm just done, but I'm done. Like again, as an Eagles fan, I love seeing this. But from a common sense perspective, it makes no sense. Like,
And also the player, like, once again, maybe I'm just a fucking asshole here, but Jonathan Mingo being a fourth rounder, like, come on, brother. I get it. He was a higher pick, so the Panthers are like, fuck, we got to figure this out. But fourth rounder, man, that's crazy. Crazy.
And Dallas is the team to do it with, bro. They're the team that if you want to get something over on them, you can do it. Like, it's just they're like a hair above the Titans right now in terms of making deals. I like we're not going for Derrick Henry, but we're gonna get Mingo.
Hey, Dalvin Cook though.
Dalvin
Don't
Cook
sleep.
though.
Don't sleep.
Oh, and Zeke is back.
Yeah. And this time we only paying him 5 mil. Like, come
Yeah,
on, bro. Come
and
on, bro.
he's changing his jersey number. So now the fans have to go get his new jersey. Like,
Wow.
I just I,
That's Freakio Elliott. You feel me?
I'm just I'm done with them, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody can be a fan right now at all. Like, no. And on top of that, they're allowing fans to get a tour of the facility like during the week. So as these players are trying to prepare, you've got fans knocking on the glass trying to get their attention. Like, you're not serious, bro. You're not serious. Like, as a marketing from a marketing perspective, Jerry Jones is amazing. He's top tier. He's amazing. But actually contending for a championship, nah.
You know what's so funny though? Like you could tell clearly once they made this move, they're fucking fist bumping in the room, like
Yeah,
like as if this is what we fucking needed here. This
bro.
is what's gonna take us over the hump right here. Hey, that fourth rounder could have been a fucking pass rusher for y'all, and maybe that would have fucking helped. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
Jones is on
Punt
the
the
radio.
season, bro. This guy's out 4 weeks, and y'all been trash with them.
With him. Jones was on the radio station, bro, right before the deal happened, before it got publicized, and said we're about to trade for a wide receiver we've been looking at since college, and I tell you, like, he's really good. Like, I'm done. I like there's the jokes write themselves, bro. I literally don't have to do anything. I don't have to like. It's just look at the star. That's the joke.
Bro, yeah, I don't blame my dad because he's done. And I don't blame him.
Good
I don't blame him.
for his
He's
own
fucking
mental
done.
health.
Yeah.
He should be done, bro. Like,
You know what's funny too though? I am always just to fuck with you a little bit, like just trying to be the Cowboys optimist all season. Like even I'm like, but they can't be this bad, right?
yeah,
And they're fucking trash, bro. And they've
yeah,
been
no,
worse than they
like
ever
you
have.
don't love yourself if you're still a Cowboys fan, bro.
Yeah. It is self harm.
You have no self respect if
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna
still,
Baker act you if
bro.
I find out that you're still rocking the star. But we got to move on, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Bengals making a sneaky good move here for a seventh rounder. They get Khalil Herbert
Yeah,
from the Chicago Bears. I think this is a big depth piece, obviously, given their situation at RB with Zach Moss going down for the rest of the year.
yeah.
Um, I, I was about to call him Charlie Brown. That's not his name, right? Chase Brown
Chase,
is their current
yeah,
number one running back. So having that 1-2 punch, I really like Khalil Herbert. This has been someone that I've been telling people to target in Dynasty for a long time now. I think he's a really good player that's just been in some pretty bad situations since he's gotten into the league.
yeah,
But I think this is a great 1-2 punch now for Cincinnati, and I think this does help them in a good way for seventh pick, seventh
yeah.
rounder. Like
Why not?
what they got, in my opinion, is worth a lot more than that. So
Yeah,
I tip
yeah,
the hat, even though I don't like you fucks. Next
yeah,
up, the best move, if you ask me, on our trade deadline. And then we'll leave it at this, right? We'll leave it at this. We've got the Detroit Lions, obviously suffering from losing Aiden Hutchinson, going out there and getting Zadarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns, as well as giving up a seventh rounder. And Cleveland in the deal gets a fifth and sixth round pick, fifth rounder in 2025, sixth rounder in 2026. This is another one of those. This guy must hate you guys, right? That's why you're trading him for this.
yeah, man. I like that's a good move.
Didn't the Browns just pay him as well? Like
I think so.
just now? Like
I think so. So that means they would have to be on the hook for paying partial of his salary, right?
must be. And
I
if they're
think
willing to
that might.
trade that many, I mean, trading them for a bag of nickels, it's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, good move for the Lions, bro. I think like the Commanders, they push all the chips on the table, and they're all in, bro. Like it's going to be. I will say this: the NFC Championship is going to be a very interesting game. No matter who's in it, it's going to be a very interesting game.
Yep. And it might just be a one-sided ass whooping, no matter
It
who's in
could
it.
be. It
So
really could be.
yeah,
But it could also be one of those nail biters.
yeah. That's what we
Like
love to look forward to, right?
it's gonna
That's
be
why we
great.
play the games on Sundays, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
sir.
But that's our fucking trade deadline extravaganza, Derek. How does it feel? How do we grade this trade? Obviously, the past moves of the last couple of weeks, Deontay Johnson, we got DeAndre Hopkins going to the Chiefs. We got all kinds of moves. Shout out my Ravens. I had to throw that one in there
Hey
first,
man.
right? I had to throw that one in there because I was hyped for that shit. But another former Steeler
Yeah,
doing big things now for Baltimore. How you feeling?
most
How would
definitely.
you give it? What grade would you give if we're giving a letter grade to this year's NFL trade deadline?
Um, Overall, I'd
Yeah.
say a B plus, A minus in that area.
Oh, wow, you're an optimist, brother.
I think it's so far so good, man. Like I think a lot of the teams, again, like the Saints, for example, I think they made out. Like
Mhm.
Washington made out, they made out.
Yep.
Steelers made out, Jets made out. I can't really be mad at the moves. Like I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
And people taking advantage of Dallas, that's not something you get mad at, right?
And that's the cherry on top, bro.
Yeah.
Dallas gets screwed in the end. Oh, amazing. Chef's kiss.
You love to see it. I'll give it a B minus. I think there's still some big names. Speaking of big names left that should have gotten traded that didn't. Speaking of, is there anyone that you're surprised is still on their team?
Ooh. For all the chatter that was around him, Miles Garrett, I would say was one. Um,
I thought there was no way they would get that done. Like
I didn't
each
think
time I
so
heard that, I
either.
was like, "There's no
I
way."
didn't think so either, but I think that was one I was kind of like hopeful just to see.
Because if you make a trade like that, it's kind of like you're leaving a hole on your roster, right? To get a
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
don't know.
Between him and oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Mm, white guy from Oakland.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Who's a disgruntled white man in Oakland? Mason
The
Crosby. There we
thank
go.
you, thank you, thank you.
How
Yes.
the fuck I
Oh,
called him Mason?
I don't,
Max. There we go. Get
Max.
the
And I
backwards
thought about
ready. The
Mason
fuck?
Rudolph too. That's why I messed up. Like,
Fucking Mason Crosby. That sounds like a fucking hockey player right there. We just made our NHL 2025 created character.
yeah,
Shout out.
man. Got no speed on him.
Yeah, none. Hey, shout out all my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out. But with all that being said, Derek, it's only right that I talk my shit. Cause holy, holy, your boy was on one last week. I
Yes,
finished the
sir.
week going 13-2, 84 wins, 57 losses, while Derek finished the week going 99-6. We were tied before this week, so that leaves me with a 4-game lead going into week 10. Man, this is a big week. I just got to say, shout out to both of us, right? There was
Yeah.
there was a time about 4 weeks ago where I was like, yeah, this might be our worst picks ever. Like undoubtedly, our worst picks ever. Things are starting to just fix themselves, right?
We
As the
getting
year
back
goes
on
on, we're
track,
both
bro.
we're both getting back on the right track, which you love to see. Week 10, baby. We've
Yes,
got
sir.
actual good games to look forward
Right.
to. And the first comes on Thursday night. We've got the Bengals, the new look Bengals, with one Khalil Herbert on the road at M&T. They're gonna have a hard time with my Baltimore Ravens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking go. I just gotta say, man, if we lose this game, it'll be one of those games that we've had each time we lost this year. And what I mean by that is each one of those times we went out there, we took it for granted, right? We
Yeah.
went out there thinking, hey, you know what? we'll stuff this little fuck in a locker, right? It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
You beat
Um,
yourselves.
exactly. Let's
Yeah.
focus up here. Let's figure this out
Yeah.
because this is a team that's trying to get themselves back on the right track in some ways, putting some chips in the middle of the table, right? So
Yeah.
let's really fucking step on their neck here and give them a loss at a time that they don't need. But that's what makes this game dangerous, right? The last one was a shootout, and this is an even more desperate team, man. So this is going to be a real give me the Dan Campbell, I'm biting your kneecaps kind of divisional rivalry game. Really looking forward to this game. I think this is going to be an all timer for Thursday night. Thursday night sucks, but
Yeah.
this one's going to be memorable. I promise you that. Give me the Ravens, baby. I think we figured it out. I think it's time to get serious, and I think that energy that I'm seeing is going to continue to dissipate around the building. Shout out to MV3, right? Shout out to my guy, Lamar Jackson, for just continuing to prove all the haters just entirely oblivious, right? You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're so listen. I tell one of my young coworkers this all the time. Tries to say I'm ancient because I'm 20 fucking 7 and he is 21. I tell him all the time, hey, you don't even know what you don't fucking know yet. All
Bro,
right. You don't even fucking know what you don't know. All right. Let alone what you do. So
that's
we
wild.
only
I'm
time.
I'm 34 going on 35, bro. Like 27 is still young as hell.
And bro, yo, the shit that I hear at work, because I have another coworker that's 19, and like, but when you pushing 40, I'm like, pushing 40? I'm pushing 40?
Hey man, that's crazy.
Hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Well, what can we do? Give me the Ravens. We're gonna fucking cook these pussy cats. How you feeling, Derek?
I feel the same way. I think you guys. I told you this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think y'all figured out what you needed to figure out. Um, I also, I told you this earlier in the season too. Cincinnati's defense is not anything to be impressed by. So
Mhm.
I can't see, bro. That run game for Baltimore is going to be hard to stop. That's going to be, if you don't have a defense, how the hell are you going to stop that? Like teams that have defenses have like it's been a very big problem for them to stop that. So I don't know how what the game plan is for them. Probably just run. Like
Score.
run
Score.
away, bro. Like there's nothing you're going to be able to do in this game. I don't even think it's going to be as great as you're saying it because I think it's going to be that one sided.
I need that.
I
I gotta be
honestly,
conservative, right?
I
I'm gonna be
know, I
considered the
know,
fucking
I
homer here.
know, but with that defense, I, like, eesh, uh,
Yeah, we getting active.
I,
I think the most impressive thing though is you got the touchdown, two very viable candidates for the touchdown leader on the same team, right? You don't see
yeah,
that. You don't see
yeah,
that in today's NFL, ladies and gentlemen. So I said it coming into the year. I knew it, man, but this offense is something special. And I can't wait to see what it looks like once we get Deontay Johnson. And because this is important. And my guy, Rashad Bateman, out there on the field at the same time. I'm gonna act
yeah.
like I didn't just forget his name in real time. But we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. A CTESPN. Next up, we got a Germany game at 9:30 in the morning that nobody needed, right?
Mm-mm.
Even I was gonna say some ignorant shit. Even Derek Schroeder didn't need this game. We've got the Giants versus the Panthers. Holy shit. You know what we're fighting for here, ladies and gentlemen? The 2025 first overall.
Yeah, that's what's at stake here. That's
Yep.
what's at stake here,
And it's kind of tricky, especially coming off the last week, right? Like, who do you pick in the toilet bowl?
bro.
Who needs this loss more right now? Because
The Giants, like at least the Panthers have pieces. Like they're not utilizing a lot of them, but they at least have pieces. The Giants don't have anything, bro.
they're struggling.
They
Hey,
are
Brian, their defense is all right.
Yeah, but when like I ain't gonna do anything, bro. Like it ain't gonna do much. I have no confidence in this team whatsoever in either one of these teams. Like, just do a coin toss for me. I don't even know. I'm gonna say I'll give you one. I think the Panthers can win this one.
Yeah.
I think they'll win this one. The
Wow.
Giants don't have anything like I'm not impressed by either one of these teams, but at least the Panthers have an idea of what they would like to be. I don't even think the Giants know what it is they like to be, bro. I just think they're just like stuck in the mud. They're in purgatory right now.
Yeah, they're atoning for their sins, ladies and gentlemen, and
That's
it makes
exactly what's
it's
happening.
only right. But make sure as they're continuing on this journey, remember one thing: Jersey Giants. All right, everything starts with leak. All right, give Malik the fucking ball. All right, everybody else,
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. Listen,
yeah,
Tyrone Tracy is a nice story. I get it. Let's get this guy the ball, man. Because if
got to.
if Daniel Jones looks like your primary playmaker out there, you're not getting Malik Neighbors the ball enough because he is the only reason that Daniel Jones should be looking relatively good. And I actually thought he had a pretty decent game last game, despite how bad and terrible that went for them as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, good luck to these franchises. Ultimately, though, I will say I love the Giants defense way more than I like the Panthers defense. But I'm still gonna pick the Panthers because I picked them last week too. So I'm riding it, baby. I'm
Yeah.
riding the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. You got no choice, bro. Got no choice.
Yeah, I can't believe we spoke about that one for that long. Next up, Pats versus Bears, 1 p.m. Another mid off, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah.
one of these things are more mid than the other. I'm gonna go with the Bears probably by hey, we gotta score eventually, right? Shout out, my guy Swift. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm going to Bears as well.
Double Bears up. Double Bears up. Next up, we got the 49ers on the road, an actual game here, ladies and gentlemen, coming off the bye week, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that have proven after going to overtime with the Chiefs that no matter who they're out there going up against, it's going to be a tough time, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick, I can't wait to get your thoughts on this matchup because I think both of these teams are in a very interesting spot right now, despite what their records are.
Hmm.
Who you feeling? 49ers or the Bucks?
McCaffrey's coming back, from what I understand. So I, I can't choose against that because I can only imagine how uh, antsy he is right now. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I told you this at the beginning of the season. I didn't have much faith in them at all, and that was thinking McCaffrey was healthy. Um, I can't see that being something that they stray from at this point in time. I just think that they are who they are. I really do. They'll win this game, but I don't know. I don't know. When you're talking about like far off, thinking about the playoffs, I can't see the way they're playing right now. I can't see it.
Hmm.
I can't see it.
And that's a
Not,
fair point, right?
yeah,
Glock Purdy hasn't looked the best, but obviously they're dealing with a lot of injury issues too on the
for sure.
offensive side of the ball, so that affects a lot of things. I think the bye week has served them well. I think a lot of teams end up sometimes getting a random bye week. They say, "Hey, we could have used this a couple weeks ago."
Yeah.
I think the Niners got theirs right at the right time, and I've just bought into their backfield period. I think their blocking ability, they're gonna gash up most teams regardless of who the fuck is back there. So now that McCaffrey's back, you gotta assume that that trend continues. Honestly, this one's closer than I think. And you know what? Fuck it, I'm pulling out the hammer early. Give me
Oh,
the Bucks here. I think I really liked what I saw from them last night. Right? Sucks that they ended up on the losing side of that one. Todd Bowles unfortunately decided to not go for two and gave the ball out there to the best player in the world, right? You love to see that. You know, why not? Trust the defense. Hey, I believe in that philosophy most times, but when you're playing Let's say it, right? Let's say it.
Yeah. Yep.
Mulatto Jesus himself, right? You can't do shit like that. So yeah, we got problems here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
All right, Bucks. I got Bucks. You got the Niners. Next up in our 1 p.m. window, we've got the Broncos on the road against the Chiefs in what will be another divisional matchup. The Chiefs look fucking good with D Hop, man, and it really hurts my soul because you can't keep getting away with this, bro.
Not at all. At all. I am so tired of this team, bro. I'm tired of this team. I'm tired of Taylor Swift. I'm tired of Red. I'm
You know what made me happy the other day though? They changed on the sleeper app. They changed Pat Mahomes' picture to Patrick Star.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So for the last couple days, all I see is Pat Star just. They do stuff like that from time to time. I think at
That's
one day,
awesome.
I think when the whole thing dropped with Travis and your favorite woman in the world, Swifty, they just changed his picture to Taylor Swift for like the rest of the week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Sleeper for just being cool. But Broncos Chiefs, one of these teams is a fake good team, and the
Yes.
other one is a fake best team ever, right? And I say this because even though this team is undefeated, I think they still look like shit.
They do.
Last week, so a lot of those same issues keep coming up.
Yeah.
This offense is really stagnant, and then obviously you see the breakaway plays that turn into scores, so it's like it doesn't matter, right? But
Yeah.
this is not a team that's humming, but they're humming on the defensive side of the ball, so they're able to get it done. I think that they'll be able to ride those coattails here too, but they can't keep getting away with this, Derrick, right?
They gonna keep getting away with winning right now, bro. Like, I mean, the Broncos ain't gonna stop them. Like, it just ain't happening. Um, yeah, I think they still have a lot of stuff to clean up for sure. If they're gonna go for this three-peat, but um, right now they gonna go 9-0, bro.
Yeah.
The Broncos ain't stopping that.
Yeah. Not gonna be able to do it.
Nope.
Next up, we've got the man that is going to be forever linked to one Patrick Mahomes. We've got Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. We need to talk about this team, right? Because since we didn't get to speak about it, A Rod, JK, Anthony Richardson, the new AR, got benched, right? Unfortunately, against Minnesota. Obviously, we saw how that game went. Ended up taking the L there. I will admit, I don't know. I think he could have gave him a spark to get him to win there. I feel like it was a close enough game that kind of made the lesson kind of be outshined by the possibility here a little bit, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But what do you think about Anthony Richardson's future? Because obviously Joe Flacco is still going to be the starter here, and what that means for the Colts.
Um, Honestly, I think this speaks to the overall issue that we've discussed on here before, which is that you're not we're not like we're at a time where these especially these quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round aren't being developed. Like, I don't know what we're expecting from players when they go to teams that early and they're not developed. Like, they have no time to sit and just learn and grow. They have no time. So that's why I said beginning of the season I thought Richardson was gonna be benched, because I really I don't see the development. I really don't, and I feel like it only works when, like, a young player is able to go to a team that's got like a roster that they can build with or around, right? And an identity. Like what's the identity for the Colts, bro?
That's a good question. I think
What
before
is
this
their
year,
identity?
they were much better defensively. I think this year that has kind of fell apart.
Hmm.
They still get their money in the trenches, right? But
Yeah,
definitely have not been as good there as they have been in the past, and it's clearly
yeah.
making a difference.
I just I think we need to. I think this is going to be a catalyst for what I feel like is going to happen, which is I believe we're going to get to a point in time where quarterbacks are not drafted high in the first round, if at all in the first round. Because if we keep going on this trend, Bryce Young got benched this year, and I forgot who else was like, but that were first round picks that have been getting benched.
Shout out Mac Jones.
Mac Jones,
He's out there
yeah,
crying somewhere.
yeah. I'm. I think we're gonna get to a point in time where we're not drafting any QBs in the first round.
Wow. I have so much to say to like everything you just said, but let me break this down, right?
Yeah,
Let me start one by one. The first thing I wanted to say is I am a little yes and no on the idea that you need a right situation for a quarterback. Like I still feel although the offensive pieces were there, nobody expected what Jaden Daniels has been able to do and what that team looks
for
like,
sure,
right? It takes
for
a
sure.
special player to be able to do
Yeah,
something special like that.
for sure.
Um, but at the same, like, I mean, you could compare the two situations. Everyone thought if that team was going to exist in any amalgamation, it would be the Bears because of what they
Hmm.
did. So,
Hmm.
um, right, a lot of the times, no matter what, we're gonna look fucking dumb, right? Because there's a lot
Yeah,
of just things we can't really figure out.
yeah,
But I think ultimately there is a lot of truth to this epidemic, right? We need to. I think the first part is just expectations, right? Because
yeah,
with those high picks, they need to bring about the immediate impact that's going to make a difference in your organization, not just for one
yeah,
game, the entire culture. And
yeah.
obviously, offensively with the quarterback, that is the play typically. But what needs to change is the foresight, right? You
Hmm.
cannot be a team that's desperate that needs a quarterback tonight because most of the time there's no true situation of a team being a quarterback away, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
we,
yeah,
we
yeah.
see the closest example of that playing out this year is the Steelers and what they've been able to accomplish with two different quarterbacks throughout the year.
Hmm.
Um, but even then, it's like, is that really all you need? Because in
Yeah,
my opinion, I don't think there's ever been a team that is the true definition of what that idea means. So but I would argue, I don't think we'll ever come to the day where we see these top quarterback prospects or these top offensive prospects, period, being a big part of the draft, or the trend of these guys falling back because all these people and these fan bases care about is hope, right? That's what we're selling
yes,
out here as most teams. You're selling hope.
yeah. Okay, let me change what I said, or add to it rather. Um, I don't know that we're going to see quarterbacks drafted in the first round and being in college for a year. I think we need to see quarterbacks developed in college more because I think with receivers and running backs and even on the defensive side, I think they can kind of like get away with coming out a little earlier than quarterbacks. But for a QB, like the franchise is on their shoulders all the time. So unless you're talking about like a dynamic running back or receiver type thing, but for the most part, the quarterback is the franchise, and it's hard for me to see where teams are going to continue to invest a first round pick into a player they're going to be getting rid of in 2 years. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't see that. Like I can't see that being a thing. I really can't. especially when you have the stories like Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second or third round. Brock Purdy was, if I'm not mistaken,
The
I think
last
he was the
pick,
last
still
pick. Like,
relevant. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have those type of stories out there, it's kind of hard for you to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and draft a Bryce Young," and then you bench him. You draft an Anthony Richardson, and then you bench him. And by the way, Richardson lost out on a marketing campaign, bro. He should have gone number 15, so you could do AR-15. He missed out on a big marketing opportunity right there. I just want to say that.
And with the right kind of folks, the white kind of folks you trying to impress.
Bro, you're
Like,
in the Midwest. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Like,
you know they love shooting guns.
they
God
love
damn it.
that. Like, but yeah, I don't know, man. I
Stupid
think
from the Vikings, if you ask me. Fucking stupid. I mean Vikings. What am I talking about? The Colts.
yes,
Idiocracy at its finest. Because what are
yes,
you accomplishing here? You still want to be a contender. You're not
yeah,
bad enough that you're bottoming out here.
yeah.
So, do you really, in your heart of hearts, believe that Flacco is the guy that's bringing you to the promised land? No.
Not at all.
So then, why are you not giving this guy the opportunity to just give you what he has? And that's the issue that I have with AR2. I don't think that he's not being developed. I actually think he's being developed very well. I think he has shown flashes of that development. But the
Yes, he
issue
has.
is consistency and
Yes,
execution.
yes,
Clearly, he is still much more behind
yes.
than we thought because of the lack of reps, which is understandable, but
Hmm.
also just the lack of flow, right? Think about what he came off of as far as his rookie year, right? You're
Hmm.
injured, you're dealing with all these different things, and now
Hmm.
instead of developing your skills, you're rehabbing and coming back on that
For
lane,
sure,
right?
for
So
sure, for sure.
I just don't get it, man. And to see a pros pro out there on the sideline doing everything he has to do to be that right guy, to be the perfect teammate for his team, like I love everything about A Rich, and I hope that he goes back out there. But as an organization, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. This doesn't make any sense. I get you want to
Yeah,
teach him a lesson. You can't call timeout and sub yourself out the game. I get that.
yeah.
Uh, but at the same time, you want the man to learn from his mistakes without giving him the tools to learn. So
Hey, man, if you're gonna do it, lie. Like, we don't need to know that you were just tired. Lie, bro. Hold your head, like hold your shoulder. God dang, bro.
I had a
Something,
stinger, right? Yeah.
something like lie. It's a perfect thing to do in that situation. I'm pretty sure we've seen that a lot, bro. We've seen that a lot across sports.
Hey, everybody had a couple stomach bugs, you know what I'm saying? Everybody
That's
had a
my
couple of
point.
those. Yeah.
We've seen it. Like, come on.
Hey, I almost stopped the show to take a shit earlier, but we got
Yeah.
past that storm, you know what I'm saying? We made it past that storm somehow.
Hey man, like yeah, I just I don't know. I think I'm sorry to have taken us so far off course, but
No, I love it.
yeah, I think the part of this whole thing is that there just needs to be development and staying uh um in college for at least 2 years, learning.
Mandatory.
It's something like yes, come on,
This is
something.
an old head take, Derek, if I'm
It
being
is an
honest.
old head take, but I'm okay with it, bro. Like, like you need development. I want guys to get what they want, and now because of the NIL, I feel like development should be more of a
Focused.
emphasis now.
Yeah.
Like you're not rushing to get to some money. Like you have something to build on. Just sit here for at least 2 years and just develop. Like I feel like we're seeing that with Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's
Looking
developing.
phenomenal.
He's looking
And that
great.
team continues to get upsets, right?
And
So
yeah,
that's
I, like so who knows what he's gonna look like in the NFL, you know?
in a
But
couple years. Yeah, I hope he continues to stay as
he
well.
should stay at least another year. But yeah, that's my whole point. I want to see guys just sit, develop, learn, because if you want that 10 to 15-year career in the league, part of that is being able to get a franchise to buy into you.
Yeah.
I don't
Surviving.
want to.
Survive the cut. Literally.
Yeah, like I don't want a franchise to just buy into my hype, buy into my ability, buy into what I can do, into my mind, buy into that. Because like, no, I want to be a leader. Like that's what I love so much about Jalen Hurts. He wants to be a leader. He don't care about all the other stuff, man. He wants to win. He wants to lead. All that other fluff, that stuff that you get that media pundits like to get into, he don't even care about that. But I like now, like he wants to lead. You see what I'm saying? Like those are the type of things that you want from your franchise QB. So why are we sitting here getting mad at these guys getting benched when the franchise ain't doing much for them in the first place?
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
Yeah,
Like
it's tough.
stay in college. Stay in college, bro. Like learn
And even then too, like, even
the right
knowing
college.
drafting him, it was very clear that, this is someone that needs to develop. So yeah, interesting times. Good
Mhm.
luck to A Rich, and hopefully he starts soon. But we got a game to pick here.
Yes,
The
my
Bills
bad.
have been looking good, ladies and gentlemen. The Bills have been
Yes.
looking good, and obviously coming off of acquiring one of the best wide receivers, one of the best under heralded wide receivers in the league. They're continuing to move the ball well, but I think the best thing that they do on offense is their running game, man. I think
Yeah.
besides my Ravens and maybe Detroit, I think this team got the best running game in the league. I think they're both of their 1-2 punches looking really good, and obviously, as a James Cook fantasy owner, just catch the fucking ball in the end zone, right? Like every time he's dropping the ball, it's in the fucking end zone, and then Ray
Yeah.
Davis is like, all right, fuck it, I guess I get a touchdown, and then
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
here like, okay, I deserve this in some ways. He got a 3 touchdown game early in the season. I'll reminisce,
Yeah.
but I like the Bills ultimately. Obviously, Josh Allen just continuously shows that it's not just the athleticism. I think we haven't seen the drop off the infamous Josh Allen slump.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that means it's still coming. I don't think that means it's not happening, but I'm interested to see how they navigate that once we see that on the horizon. But overall, I think this team is humming, man, and I think their defense doesn't get a lot of credit either, even though they give up a lot of points, but
They do.
they make plays when they need to.
Yeah.
I think I picked the Bills here, even if both teams are healthy and great, all things considered. So pretty confident in this one.
Yeah. Give me the Bills as well.
Yes, sir. I know a lot of different dudes that like us saying that. Next up, we got the Steelers on the road against the Commanders, some two new look teams, right? We got some new shiny toys to show off in this matchup from the trade deadline. This
Mhm.
is the ultimate defense versus offense kind of head-to-head matchup. This
Yeah.
reminds me, this is old school right here. This is striker versus grappler kind of
Yeah.
infamous matchup here. Did I not even let you pick the last game? Who do you have, brother? Do
No,
you have
you.
the Bills? You got
I
the
said
Bills
Bills.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
week?
Yeah. I said
Okay,
Bills.
I'm sorry.
You
I
good?
had a lapse in memory there. Um, why don't you take the reins? I clearly need some water.
Um, look, I've been going on some mad rants tonight. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I think the Commanders are humming right now, bro. Like this could be a lot closer game, but I think the Commanders can edge it out. I really hope I'm wrong because I really would love for us to get that number one spot in the division. But I think the Commanders, they're at home. Um, I think they're gonna win this game.
Listen, I got one thing to say here. Move. No matter what's going on, play that anytime touchdown bet. It's
Yeah,
looking good this week. That's all I
yeah.
gotta say. Shout out to Pat Fryer. Move might be one of the most underrated tight ends in the league.
Oh yeah,
But all things considered, I'm doing it. Fuck it. I don't want these people to win, but give me the Steelers. I
yeah,
think this is a real prove it kind of matchup here. And I think the Steelers are going to be able to score enough points now with Russell Wilson at the helm um, to figure this thing out. Honestly, though, I've been pleasantly surprised by how well Russell Wilson has looked.
yeah,
Obviously, I don't want this,
yeah,
but kind of happy for him, right? I think he's kind of found the spot where he can succeed. Still kind of feel sad for Justin Fields, but ultimately, um, results speak for themselves, and I think this is another big step in figuring out what that right answer is.
Hmm.
This is not an easy matchup, and honestly, I won't be surprised if the Commanders are favored here. But I just think this is the kind of lesson learning performance that the Commanders might need. So give me the Steelers here.
I hope
All
you're
right.
right.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope I'm not. So maybe that's what we're both trying to do here,
Yeah.
right? We're trying to will this into existence. I always tell anybody that'll listen, it's called buying a win. Sometimes you gotta throw some money on the opposite team, right? You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta let that live out there. Cause fuck it, hey, you lose, you got $100. Now you feel better. Next
Yep.
up, we got the Vikings on the road against the Jaguars. Two teams in different directions. Two teams also playing to the opposite of their record. I think the Jags have looked really good the last 3 weeks. I think the
Yeah.
Vikings have looked very bad the last 3 weeks. So a
Yeah.
little bit of a strange one here. I'll also keep it short and sweet though. Shout out to Sam Darnold. I like what you're doing, brother, but take it easy. Right? Slow down. Right? I
Hmm.
know Justin Jefferson is a monster, right? But slow down, right? Let's get these things. Let's get these passes a little spread out, right? Let's let Hawkinson eat too. All right, he's getting back.
Yeah.
But all things considered, should be an easy dub for the Vikings? Question mark. But I don't fucking know what's going on with the Jags. Like I feel like Doug Peterson is fighting for his life, right? Like he's doing everything he can to make sure he does not get fired, and it's going well for him. So I'm getting a
Yeah.
little nervous with this pick, but fuck it, give me the Vikings.
Yeah. Give me the Vikings as well. But I think honestly, I don't know if Peterson were to get fired this offseason. Because I mean, at this point, what would you need to fire him for right now? Um, I don't think it would take him too long to find another job.
Yeah.
I don't think it would. I think he does a phenomenal job overall. You know, some stuff takes place, but yeah, I think he'll land on his feet if he gets fired.
Yes, sir. Some stuff indeed does take place. Next up, we've got the Falcons on the road against the Saints. We've got a divisional game, a big time one that is definitely near and dear to a young Atlanta guy's heart like yourself. So who you got, brother?
Hey man, I'm going to Falcons, bro. I don't see the Saints winning
Hey, you remember when week 2 I was like, we might have a playoff
this.
It's so bad, bro.
They're horrible, man. They are
So bad.
horrible.
No, that was one of the worst things I've probably ever said on this show. That was so stupid. But hey, sometimes you got to overreact to these wins, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
you have to sometimes.
Hey, I'm going with the Falcons too, though. I think they are a football team, and the Saints are not. Next up, we got the Titans on the road against the Chargers in our first of the 4 p.m. window. Titans coming off of a sneaky win against the Pats last time out, but the Chargers looking really good off of some synergy building performances with Justin Herbert and one Quentin Johnston, which you love to
Yes.
see if you're a Chargers fan. But Derrick, this is a tough matchup to pick. Who you got?
It's very tough, man. I'm going the Chargers.
Yeah, brother. Honestly, Tony Pollard, shout out. Eaton, shout
Bro,
out.
I think that man.
But
I think that man's stressed out, bro. I saw a
oh yeah,
picture of him. It look like what he looks like when he was in Dallas and what he look like now.
that's
Man,
some hard living, brother.
that
That's some
man,
hard living.
that man going through it, bro.
I don't blame him.
Going through
He
it.
got paid though. He
I
got
mean,
paid.
yeah, yeah.
He living the life. Hey, shout
Mhm.
out to the Mayo man. I don't know how y'all gonna look, but Calvin really is the key, right? If there's anyone that's
Yeah.
gonna go off here to make this work for you guys, it'll be Ridley, but it ain't happening. I'm going with the Chargers too. I really like what the Chargers are doing, man. I think they're sneaky. They're sneaky building something out there
They are.
that I think people should be worried about, and it ain't about this year for real.
Yeah.
I think they got something coming for the rest of the league next year. Next up,
Yeah.
and that was a crazy pause. We got the
That was
Jets
a
on the
very crazy.
road against the Cardinals. Holy, These are two teams that need a win right now, right?
Yeah.
Holy. I'm gonna start by saying, as as the resident New Yorker, the optimism for the Jets is, hey, they've been looking good, but we need to win every game. So it's like we got to be happy, but can we win every game from this point forward? That's a tough bet to make. This is a not an easy game either. I think both of these teams are super scrappy. Um, Matchup wise, though, this is a hard game to pick, in my opinion. I think what
Yeah.
the Saints have, what these teams have going for each other is very different. I just think with the way that the pegs fall into the holes, though, I'm going to go with the Jets here. I think ultimately what gives the offense of the Cardinals an issue is what the Jets have shown that they've been able to do, especially since Hassan Reddick has been back. I think
Hmm.
obviously the injury to Willie McDonald is something to really look for here because he's been performing so well in what is now his what is that considered, right? Sophomore season for the Jets. Or is he a rookie still? I'm looking this up.
Who is in here?
Willie McDonald
Yeah, I don't know.
from the Jets. I think he's almost at 10 sacks for them this season. I just want to make sure if he's a rookie or not. I'm sorry. I just
You good? You good?
derailed the show for this tidbit. 2023 first round pick. No, I'm not bugging. He is a rookie. Okay, so sorry about that. Shout out to Will McDonald. I know he's injured, so that obviously plays a factor in this. But ultimately, I think the Jets hit this team hard in the places they don't like being touched. Give me the Jets.
No Diddy.
Oh
I
my
am
god.
going to go the Jets as well. I think it is going to be a close game, but if you're going to stack wins, you better start it right now.
Mhm.
Hey
And
man,
this team will never win.
they ain't doing nothing, bro.
Speaking of Louis Belt, straight to ass,
Yeah.
that cannot complete a pass. Right? Speaking of, let's just keep this bitch
Hey,
going. Is this
hey, look.
Cowboys on the road, baby? No, wait, it's Eagles on the road, baby. Going up against the Cowboys. Right after, right? We could all wake up the next morning right after Mike Tyson gets knocked out. We could go over there and have ourselves a game with those guys from Philly. Give me the breakdown here. Are we gonna get another infamous track in the many Cowboys diss tracks we've been getting this season?
Yeah. Yeah, this will be what track 9. Hey, bro. They ain't gonna have Dak. They might not have CD Lamb. And it wasn't like they were doing anything when they were there. So you tell me you're gonna have Cooper Rush and Turpin? Those are your guys. Those gonna be your two. Yeah, bro. Y'all screwed.
Shout out Cavante, all right? Shout out Cavante.
Hey, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Parsons is back.
Hey, don't sleep. That's
Bro,
big
when
though.
Parsons
That is
was
big.
out there, when he was on the field, they weren't doing well.
But he was injured too. Facts, facts, facts,
I mean, but
facts.
on the field, like he's act like nah. They
Listen,
weren't doing well when he was playing this early this season. Look, it's the Eagles. Fly Eagles fly. Go Birds. The
hey, listen.
Cowboys are
I,
gonna be done.
morale is morale. We're moving in the right direction. But let me make one thing fucking clear. All right, come here, come here. Sirianni's still bugging the fuck out. All right?
Oh
Every
yeah, he
week it
definitely is.
happens,
Oh,
and every week I'm like, no, Derrick, you're not bugging here. Like I see it too, but
bro,
it's happening more than I thought it should still be happening. And this is
bro.
4 weeks now, right? This is 4 weeks that y'all have won, or is it five?
4.
So yeah, 4 weeks y'all have run
4.
one, and I've still felt like, hey, but you're still not doing the right things here, Sirianni. So what the fuck?
He's leaving points on the board, bro. Like
9 points I counted last week.
yeah, you keep going for the 2-point conversion, trying to be cute. I- I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like I don't think I'm at the point now where it's never gonna happen. Sirianni is not getting fired.
Mm.
Someone just came out. I think it was Sunday night, and said that Sirianni has officially moved into like the top 10 ranking of I think coaches with wins either in Eagles history or something like that. I don't know. Some Jesus Christ. I'm done, bro. Like I need him gone. I need him gone. Because
Mhm,
like I did not want to lose that game, especially in those sexy Kelly Green uniforms. Those are beautiful uniforms.
mhm.
And with Saquon doing that
What do you even
backwards
call
hurdle,
that? Yeah.
it's a backwards hurdle. From what I'm sitting here watching, I was like, I know I didn't just see what I just saw. Like,
My shit was, how the fuck he seen them? Like, that was some
bro,
earthbender shit. He felt them.
what do you think? What goes through your mind to even say, "Hey, I'm gonna attempt this out of after a spin"? Like,
You know what's
how
the craziest shit about that play though, if you really look back at it? How effort that fucking hurdle was.
it was
Effortless, I'm sorry.
effortless.
Bro, it was like me doing a calf raise at the crib. Just doing a calf raise, and this
He's
motherfucker
like,
is a whole human's length above the ground.
bro,
Deja que está jodiendo, ahora mismo.
and homie going for the tackle. Like, you have to feel so bad, right? Like, you think you got him, and all of a sudden it's just like he's gone. Like,
Bro
I
must have
don't,
heard the Mario sound effect. Like, there's no
ye-
way you didn't hear that shit.
bro. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how that. There's no way. There's no way on this plane. I'm glad he did it in the Eagles jersey because I'm telling you right now, if
Yeah.
he did that in a Giants jersey against us, oh, I'd have been pissed.
Yeah,
I'd
that
have
that
been
all
pissed.
adds to the luster as well, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. Give me the Eagles with this one, bro. There's no way the
Yeah,
Cowboys.
yeah, I'm 1,000% picking the Eagles too.
Yeah,
And I just gotta say, it's gonna be hard to find a game where both of us are not picking the Eagles and the and the Ravens. I will say we are homers here, but I also will say, if the Cowboys win this week,
if
he
the
might get
Cowboys,
fired. It might all work out.
That's what I was about to say. I was slick hoping we lost the last game just because of that. However,
Yeah.
I don't want to lose in Kelly Green, bro. Like, it's just like
Oh, Kelly
it's
Green again?
that was Kelly. No, we're not doing it this week. I don't think so. Oh, it just needs to be the standard. That just needs to be the uniform. I love the
Why not?
midnight green. The Kelly green just needs to be the uniform.
It is the
I'm
superior uniform.
it's a superior one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. If we lose this game, especially with Sirianni being the cause of it, hell yeah, he needs to be fired. Hell yeah. You cannot lose against the Cowboys without Dak or CD Lamb.
Hey,
That ain't no. So yeah,
shout out Deuce Vaughn. I bet he'll get a couple snaps this week. Next up, we got the Lions on the road against the Texans. And what is my game of the week, baby? Sunday night. I've been waiting
really
all week for Sunday night. Yeah, Lions on the road against the Texans. Is that
game
not
of the week,
happening?
bro.
Is that not happening?
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. And that's because Diggs is gone for the year.
That's true. But I
I
still think
just
where they want to be, right? So what's the game of the week for you then?
yeah. Oh, game of the week for me? Oof, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't say it's not this one and then not have the other one,
You know
right?
what? Maybe, yeah, I guess by default, yeah. Looking at the schedule now, yeah, you might be right.
Hey, chill, bro.
Uh,
You ain't have to do the league like that.
I-
Schedule not that bad this week, right?
it's not as bad as the week prior, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Steelers
three
Commanders
goes
doesn't
out the
top
trash.
this.
Yeah,
Bengals Ravens might if the Bengals had like 1.5 more wins at
that's
this
what I was
point.
like. Yeah, if the Bengals show up and play, then yeah, cool. Um,
But yeah, Sunday night we got a game on our hands, Derek. Who you got? Who you feeling in a
Lions,
matchup of juggernaut? Oh, that was
Lions,
quick. That was real quick.
Lions. Sorry.
Confidently. Yeah, how the
Yeah.
fuck did this team lose to the Jets? That game
Bro,
was so bad.
I
Honestly
don't
though, I feel
know,
like Stroud looks a little like, I don't know if it's burnt out. I don't know if it's tired. Uh
but
to me the last couple weeks. Go
what
ahead.
can you be burnt out from at this point in time? Like
I mean
you just
I mean,
started your
listen,
career.
listen, listen. It ain't easy seeing all of your star wide receivers get season-ending injuries. All right, we got things going on. We got things to figure out here. Obviously, Nico Collins is coming back, but hey, we got some depression to deal with here.
Hey man, he's been killing me in fantasy. I'll tell you that.
I, you, so I'm not wrong. You
He's been
see it.
killing me. He's been killing me, bro.
Yeah, he needs to get
I
it together.
I don't know what the hell going on, but he need to figure it
Yesterday,
out.
yesterday. Now, honestly though, the Lions are such a scary team. I don't blame you for going out and doing it outright. I was trying to, build it up a little, but I agree with you. I'm going with the Lions here too, easy. Like I think
Yeah.
the Lions are obviously good and deserve the respect they get for the offensive side of the ball. I think they're only getting better on that side of the ball too.
Mhm.
But defensively, especially after the pickup they made, like even before that though, like even
Before.
even with Aiden out, they've been looking serviceable on that
Yep.
side, and now we're adding to that. No matter this team is good,
Yep.
and I won't be surprised if they are representing the NFC. But don't say that too loud
I was
around
gonna
Derrick.
ask you, are you automatically writing him into the NFC Championship? Because
No,
I am.
I'm not. You are.
Mhm.
Wow. I don't think so. I think there's still a lot of football left to be played, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm putting them there.
They're a team that, I mean, you hate to wish this on anyone, but they're an injury away from being
They are.
a spot
They are.
for sure.
But I can't. It's also coaching too.
Yeah, they're dialed. They're
It's
dialed
also
for sure.
coaching, bro. I can't see it with the Niners right now.
Mhm.
And I know injuries and all that. I just can't see it.
All fair considerations.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the timeline I need. Honestly, I'll be happy for them, but we'll see. Time will tell. Next up,
Sure.
our final game of the week, week 10, ladies and gentlemen. Got the Dolphins on the road against the Rams. Derek, I'm gonna just come out and say it. The Dolphins are good. Dolphins are good, but they're not good enough. This is going to be a super competitive game. Like I think
Yeah.
this game is awesomely matched up. This is like one of those fights where it's like you look at the UFC card, you're looking at who they fought previously, and you're like, these guys have only fought strikers, like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're both strikers.
Yeah.
You're like, I know why y'all fighting each other. Like
Yeah.
that's what this matchup feels like. This feels like a super offensive game for sure. But you know me, right? I like to be that guy to try to find my edge. And I think if any team has an edge on defense without Tre'Davious White, it ain't the Rams. So
Yeah.
this one's sneaky. I want to go with the Rams. Like I think my brain says Rams, but the criminals are going the other way. So I am going to be picking the Dolphins. I think they need a get back game, and they looked really good against the Bills, man. But they just couldn't overcome the truth that is Josh Allen. So give
Yeah.
me the Dolphins here on the road.
And that's exactly why I think I'm going to go with the Rams. Matt Stafford. Um, I just I don't know, bro. I don't know. I agree with you. The Dolphins looked good last week, but I don't know. I shouldn't be picking them because they did just trade White away, but I don't know, bro. Tyreek Hill ain't looking like Tyreek either. It's just something is going on.
Tons
Something
of foot in this bitch.
something is happening this season, bro. Like is it the turning of the tide? Are we moving past this era of these specific superstars? Their primes? Are we moving past that? Are we is that over?
I just think certain people just aren't good, and it takes a certain time to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Holy,
yeah. Should have
hey,
stayed in Kansas City. Um, yeah,
wow,
give me the Rams.
that was a low blow, man. That was a real
Hey,
low blow.
look, I look. Truth is truth.
Yep, truth is game is game, ladies and gentlemen.
He should have stayed, bro. Because nope, you wouldn't be looking like this. When
Definitely
you
not.
got Travis Kelsey and Mahomes out there, you wouldn't be looking like this.
Yeah. I just gotta say, Derek, we done did it again, right? We're almost 2 hours deep. A
That's right.
great show. Coming off of our hiatus. We're roaring, but I gotta say, I would be nothing if I didn't admit how sad and depressed I've been since my New York Yankees found a way
Yeah.
to lose at home in the Bronx.
Yeah.
But as I remind everyone, to show love and support to OTS and the brand and all the good things we have going on with the OTS Media Co. on all social media platforms, I also have to remind everyone out there that if you see Fat Joe coming, right, no matter where he's coming, no matter what direction he's coming in,
Pause.
no, no pause. You're going to hear me out on this one. If you see Fat Joe coming, just know your chances of winning are already over because you cannot perform other men's songs as your main act.
Yeah,
It should have been Jadakiss, bro. And as soon as that fucking performance was done, I knew we were
that
gonna
was it.
lose, and I didn't want to admit it,
Yeah,
right? But right after that, what the fuck happened? Freeman had his first of back-to-back first-run home runs.
yeah,
Right after this fucker shows up, man, one of the worst all-time performances. New York, the Bronx, fuck you guys. Figure this out because we were on the road, bitch. You should have had this figured out. We got fucking shout out to Ariel Hawani. We got 10-7. Bro, did you see what they did with Ice Cube? And then we going to follow up with that. That was our follow up. We
hey man,
deserve the L. So just know, Fat Joe, I ain't leaning with you ever again. And I'm definitely not rocking with you either. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We'll see you next time. Peace.